Hello guys, welcome to Tatum, and today we are going to be talking about something very obscure. But first, I just want to talk about something very, very personal to me, and that is the fact about the A3s. You might be thinking about the Flying Scotsman. Well, you're wrong! That's the wrong A3 I'm talking about. Today, we are going to be starting a new series called... I honestly don't know. Well, it's pretty much a series that I'm gonna call Undiscovered Engines. It's a series where we tackle and I explain to you with images, if I can even find images, steam engines that are very obscure and not very many people know about, to try and bring some light onto them and to try and make them more popular, because some of these engines actually need some more respect than they currently have. And for today's first episode, we're going to talk about the American Pennsylvania Railroad A3040 class. Not to get mistaken by the British 462 Flying Scotsman. No, that's a totally different class, even though literally having the same name. So, let's just get into this very long video. So, back in the 1880s, the PRR, also known as the Pennsylvania Railroad, needed some new 040 switchers. So, they came up with a design that was liked by many. So, they made an 040 tender locomotive. And in case if you haven't noticed, these images may look a lot like the A5s by the PR. And there's a good reason for that, because the A5s actually have a major part in the history. But that's for later in the video. So, the PR ordered, I'm not really sure how many, because once again, the history is very obscure. And, information was kind of all over the place. So I try to link it all together so it makes sense. So not all the details are there, such as how many were made. So yeah, but I'm not sure how many more I made, but I do know that more than 3 were made. Well, these locomotives were made, and back in the 1880s, these locomotives were very strong for low 40s for the time. They were really successful, so successful in fact that the PR managed to sell quite a few to other railroads. This was not a part in any of the websites I tried to find information about. I only know this because in the 1900s, Bachmann made some major scale models of the A3040s, which actually I have a Southern Pacific A3040 HS scale model right next to me right now on my desk. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Got it for a pretty bad deal though, very expensive. But hey, it's old school. Now I'm getting distracted, let's just continue. So, pretty much, these locomotives were very good. So, they were sold all over the place, because Pac-Man pretty much has tons of other liveries besides just of the Pennsylvania Railroad, like my Southern Pacific, and heck, I think even the Rock Island, but I'm not sure about that one. So, pretty much these locomotives were sold to other railroads, but the rest of the history is completely screwed up. So yeah, so we have to skip until 1927, I think, when the locomotives were starting to go out of date after being in service for almost 40 years now. So, the locomotives were retired by the PRR and every other railroad. Then the PRR was like, I need to update my 040s. So then they made the A5s. They made the A5040s, which were 2 times stronger, possibly 3 times stronger than the A3s. and had larger fireboxes and were just a better design overall. So, all the other railroads scrapped, unfortunately, all their A3s and replaced them with the A5s, including the first original ones. So, unfortunately, all the A3s were either scrapped or turned into an A5. But the good news is that I don't know why, but for some reason, I think one of the railroads, I don't think it's PRR, but another railroad, pretty much remade the A3s into saddle tender engines. I'm not even joking. I'm probably showing an image of it right now on screen. So that's pretty interesting. So these locomotives were at first tender engines in the 1880s. During the 1920s, all of them were scrapped, but one railroad turned it into a saddle tender engine. That just sounds wrong. So, yeah, but that didn't last very long. Obviously. So, pretty much none of them survived to this day, unfortunately. But hey, at least we got the A5s, because the A5s, although being a different class entirely, and being more modern with valve gear and stuff, they are pretty similar, though, to the A3s, because they have the same rearrangements, and they have the same type of tender. So the two are very similar. So the A5s are pretty much just the A3s, but a little bit more updated, I guess you can say. So yeah, and I think there's only one or two A5s still left on the planet, and both of them are in museums, which is very good news. So I guess that's one part of I guess that the legend of the A3s kind of lives on. So yeah, that's kind of sad about the ending, but I mean, at least we got the A5s. So, yeah. Anyway, getting the images were very hard to get, and honestly, I didn't really read the whole entire history. I just read the parts that really mattered, which were the dates and stuff like that. The dates, why they were used, what railroad made them, and stuff like that. So that's the general details about these locomotives. I can't go into insane detail because once again it's very hard to find this stuff. So yeah, I hope that this video shines some more light onto these locomotives. In another video I'll probably show you how I managed to find these locomotives and come up with the series and stuff, because it's a very, very interesting and complicated story. Let's just say that. So, yeah. This video is actually surprisingly shorter than I thought. I thought this might take me an hour or so, because I tried to record this video a long time ago, but now that's kind of outdated, and it was over an hour long, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, like and subscribe. That'll be very appreciated, and share it to your family, your friends, your loved ones, your dog, your cat. Show it to everybody, even your pet fox. Yes, I know you have a pet fox. Don't hide that from me. Anyway, yeah, that just occurred. So, yeah, I just hope to bring some more light. And I said that already 50 times. Also, really quickly, before you leave the video, because it's about to end, I really quickly wanted to say that luckily a man made an A3 in a very miniature scale. like one of those miniature railways that's small enough to be smaller than narrow gauge, but still big enough to run on actual steam power. So we also at least got that. So if the A5s were not enough for you, we got a miniature model and some HM models. So yeah, these locomotives are actually not really that obscure when it comes to the shape, but their history is what's obscure about these locomotives. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this first episode of a new series, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!